dating younger, right? So, people who are older dating people who are substantially younger, I would say 10 or so years, right? So
Yeah.
a 37-year-old dating a 25-year-old, right? And, when I brought this to you yesterday, you had a very interesting response because I think your response was like, yeah, I don't know, right? Like, because it's such an interesting topic to explore. And
Yeah.
it comes up in therapy sometimes too, especially when people, I find, start exploring polyamory and opening up their relationship, and
Yeah.
two partners are closer in age, and then the one of them decides to date someone who's 5 to 10 years younger, and then the other partner is like, wait, what? And I mean, there's so much to talk about here,
I know.
but
Well, kick it off with your initial thoughts. Like,
yeah,
what are
yeah.
you, when you seeing it show up? Like, how are you talking to folks about that are feeling threatened by it when they're like, ugh, I don't want you to do that? Because I've definitely seen that show up. How are you talking to folks about
Yeah,
that?
I think I asked them, like, help me understand what feels so upsetting to you about
Mhm.
this, right? About this specifically. Is it the age difference? Is it the gender difference? If it's a different gender, if it's the same gender, is the problem still there? Um,
Mhm.
if you were 45 and this person was 35, does that feel
Mhm.
different versus 35 and 25?
Mhm.
And I find people saying like, well, what do they have in common? And, oh, manipulation. Is there a power imbalance here? Is this person trying
Mhm.
to take advantage?
Mhm.
And as a cis white male, I can sit here and say, I get where all of that comes from.
Sure. Yeah.
Full stop. That makes complete sense to me. There have been some really negative, negative, what a PG word. There have been some really shitty humans that have
Uh-huh.
existed that have manipulated and taken advantage. And it still happens to this day, older
Uh,
people to younger people. It does not matter if it is, male to female, female to male, right?
mhm. Mhm.
Cis to trans, whatever it is. This
Mhm.
power imbalance and this manipulation 100% makes sense. We see it in movies, we see it in TV shows, we potentially hear about it from friends.
Mhm.
So I get it. And I try to
Mhm.
do my best to say and be like, yes, I get where this is coming from. This makes complete and total sense.
Mhm.
And is your partner a manipulator? Is
Yeah.
your partner a shitty human? Do you have like do you is this like what's showing up there for you when
Mhm.
you now
Mhm.
like put in your partner? Does that make
Yeah,
sense? Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you're trying to like, obviously globally, it's problematic. It can be problematic. I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, no absolutes on that. But like it can be
Yeah.
problematic. And let's, shrink down to here and now with your
Mm-hmm.
person. And is that
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing? And if you're
Yeah.
worried about that, that's what they're doing, that's a whole other conversation that we have to explore. But if
Yeah.
not, can we name what it would look like so that you all can keep an eye out for that, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah.
can identify boundaries to
Mm-hmm.
ensure that that's not something that occurs. We can be
Yeah.
curious about it, but exactly that. I think you're so right. Yeah, it's like let's shift out of the global perspective and come shrink it down to your
Yeah.
partner and who they are, and then really see what's showing up still.
I'm going to bring in something that I thought about literally just now. And actually, no, that's a lie. I thought about it earlier, but it's coming back to me now. And
Okay.
I will give it to you, and I'll give my response first. Right? But what if it is just as simple as my ego, right? What if
Mhm.
I'm 37,
Mhm.
right? I'm a 37-year-old male, or what if I'm a 37-year-old female and a 23-year-old is hitting on me and
Mhm.
wants me and wants to engage with me and show me attention, right?
Mhm.
I can't help that I grow up in a world that is ageist. I can't help that I'm
Mhm.
influenced by, the idea of younger continues to be seen as more desirable, right?
Hmm.
So I'm influenced by that as well. And what if my ego is there and it's just like, hell yeah, like this could be fun, right? This younger
Hmm.
person wants to engage with me. So my response to that in some ways is okay, sure, right?
Hmm.
Whatever takes place between two or more consenting adults is their business, right?
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
is consenting is their business, right?
Hmm.
If if there's an issue there, if it feels weird seeing that, well, we're creating and projecting this narrative that we just talked about of manipulation and control and what do they have in common, all these onto another person, right? And
Hmm.
onto this relationship. And
Hmm.
so I think at the end of the day, I always fall back on, again, that adage that we preach, which is what happens between two or more consenting adults is their business. Um, now, having said that, I find that then people pull in morality in some way of like, well, I just have like a moral or
Hmm.
a value conflict with it. And at that
Hmm.
point, I'm like, okay, let's honor that. And how is your value or moral conflict now going to impact your partner? And
Hmm.
you two then have to start figuring that out. And that's what we're here to help with, right? I'm not,
Yeah.
again, I can sit here and be like, fine, okay. And now, how is it showing up for you two?
Right. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with all of that. Yeah, because sometimes ego will just come into play and it's like, I just am interested. It sounds
Mm,
fun.
yeah,
And if the other person is like, well, I have a moral issue with it, it's like, all right, well, now this is about the two of you. This is
yeah,
about your relationship. And this person can set a boundary of, I would not choose to be in a relationship with somebody who does this because it's
yeah,
morally against me. It's like, okay, like that's your monkey and that's your circus and that's
yeah,
totally fine. And
yeah,
like this person has to decide like what am I willing to do with that, right? Like,
yes, yeah,
but you can't set that parameter of like you can't date anybody younger because that's like that's a rule that we're not going to apply to
yeah.
somebody else. It's to say like, but I won't be in a relationship with somebody, and then because that gives you the opportunity to process why does that bother me so much, and if by the end of all that processing you're like it's because I just don't like it, then like okay, but
Cool.
then that
Yeah,
just might mean that this relationship isn't for the two of
yes.
you anymore.
Shout
Okay.
that from the mother effing rooftops, right? Then
Yeah.
maybe this relationship is not meant for you anymore. And I think that is just, I know I say it, I know you say it with all of our clients, right?
Yeah.
Not every relationship is going to last. And when a relationship ends, it does not have to be the worst thing that has ever happened, right? Maybe it's just two people who put in some great time together and now they have learned through growing and evolving that maybe this just isn't working and that should be celebrated.
Exactly. It should be celebrated. Yeah, because it's like you did the work to identify what you really want and need, hopefully both of you individually, and now you're going to go pursue something that's more in alignment with that now, with where you are.
Yeah.
We live so freaking long.
I just
We
said,
live
did we say
so,
this yesterday to
we
each
might
other
have.
or did I say this to we have the same brain. I literally said that to a client yesterday. I was like,
Okay.
you're probably going to be with your partner for another 60 to 70 years,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
wild,
Yeah.
wild.
It's so funny. And like I'm in a monogamous relationship. Monogamy is cool
Yeah.
and I like but I totally honor that of like we live so long. And
Yeah.
so like kudos to the people who can run that marathon race. That's my goal at the moment is to run the marathon. And I get it, like with clients with people it's like we put these really tight confines on ourselves. Like we have to
Mhm.
figure out how to make this work. And there's so much shame and judgment if I can't make it work just because my partner wants to date somebody younger or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, oh man,
No, man.
you might just grow and find something new now.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not that cut and dry, black and white, simple. And we're never this flippant with our clients of like, well, oh well, they're not for you. It's it's long work that we're
It's
sitting
long.
with people, really helping them to like explore and examine, does this make sense or not make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can start from that place. And Esther Perel talks about this a ton in like mating in captivity. You know, she says like some people have multiple marriages within the same marriage, and some people, or like
Mm,
multiple, you know,
yeah.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people have multiple marriages, period, right? And we could
Hmm.
just say relationships in this case, but exactly that. I think there really has to be an acceptance that we can change our mind at any time. We can grow, we can change, we can learn,
Yeah.
and like we can flow with that with our partners, or we don't.
Yeah.
Say that
Flexibility is an element that needs to be in all relationships. So
for sure.